this is my first time here. I didn't even know this happened, and so I feel like I need to be educated a little bit.
Well,
How far back does it go?
You came and it wasn't Farrell, because Farrell, he just gets out of hand.
I think he may be here somewhere. So you know what? But if we hide,
okay, edit that out.
Oh, we won't edit it. But we'll just hide from him. We'll just lay low. I'll keep him away from you.
All right.
But if you could do the same for me sometime too, like return the favor.
The train on the track goes puff, 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 puff. The train on the track goes puff, 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 all day long.
I'm going to just tell you, I thought there was just a weird guy standing there, and I'm 100%
This
right.
guy over here?
Yeah. Should we just move slowly to the left?
Slowly to the left?
Yeah,
That's
let's just
this way.
do this,
Okay.
slow, and we'll just pretend like maybe if we don't see him, he won't see us.
Ignore him a little
he
bit.
keeps coming though.
Let me tell you,
Oh, Farrell, you're here. Hey, Farrell, you made it.
I heard a vicious rumor, and that is you would have much rather talked to Holly than me, and I want to know if there's any truth to that.
There is.
Is there?
There is.
Well, at least he's honest. You know what I mean? At least you don't BS anybody. But why is that?
I don't know, but I'll think.
Do you really want to ask them? Do you really want to make the poor man say this on TV? Farrell, come on. He's a nice guy.
I'm hoping that maybe one day someone will have a nice answer for me when they ask that. But
Let's just talk about.
You can think one up.
all right, good idea.
Okay, all right, okay.
What a nice guy this guy is.
Howdy, folks. It's Farrell and Holly and Janae, all the way down here to Union Station for the Model Railroad Festival. What do you think?
I have never seen anything like this in my life. It's awesome.
Are you going to let Bill get rid of the camera and let him buy trains?
Oh, yeah, I already picked out what I want.
For you or for Bill?
For me.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you don't care if Bill does or not?
No.
I don't think we'd ever catch Bill building trains. He's too busy shooting and editing, and he wouldn't stop for that.
That's true. All right, well, what do you say we walk around, talk to some people, find out what it's all about?
I think we should, because I really have no clue. I think there's some trains.
There are some trains.
We're gonna find trains.
Goes clicky clack, clicky clack, clack, clicky clack all day.
Alrighty, I am here with
Vince Toscan.
And Vince, can you tell me a little bit about what it is that you're doing down here?
First of all, just having a fun time, spending with people that do trains and stuff. And that's the old habit of selling accessories and everything for the guys to support them in their nasty habit.
So, it's actually, there's a lot worse things you could be spending money on, right?
I used to joke about that with my ex-wife. Drinking and gambling could be cheaper with women, but I don't think so right now at this point.
So this is very scenic. Can you tell me about this display?
Well, what we've got here is our club has set up this whole layout here, and each member of the club owns a particular section of the layout. Like one person owns these two pieces here, and then another person, and so on down the thing. And each person adds and takes care of each section. And so what we do is when we come to these shows, we just put them all together to design to fit right together and right up close to each other, and then we just we connect. There's electrical connections down underneath, so we can just run trains all the way. It's one big gigantic loop. It runs all the way down, all the way back over here, and all the way back over this way.
All right, I am here with Mike Murphy, and he was giving me his title, but here's what it boils down to. He's the boss. Mike, tell me what you do here. You're the chairman, you're the president of the Hostlers Railroad Club.
That's correct, and I am not the boss. I am just like to have fun and like to see the community have fun, and we like to get everybody together, model railroaders, the public, anybody, and bring them in to see a great model train show.
This stuff it's really cool. So are you from here in Ogden, or where are you from?
Yep, I'm born and raised here.
So do you go to other places to sell your... I feel bad calling them toys. Do you go to other places to sell your toys?
They're everything from kids' toys, the cheap stuff, to the adult toys, which are the very expensive stuff. You know, this stuff is collectibles, and these things range anywhere from, this one's $80 to $200.
That's $80?
Yeah.
I look at that and I think that's something my child left on the floor, and I stepped on the smokestack and I hurt my foot.
Yeah, that too.
And it makes it nice because, you don't have to worry about, and in the way we've got it set up, you don't have to worry about how big a particular module is, because it doesn't matter how big they are, they all fit together in the same, and then the end loops make it so you can just connect them all together however you want to. So
this is the club for the creative people who don't want to have rules.
well, there's a lot of clubs, but we're probably the only one that does our layout like this, because I've seen them, a lot of others, but I haven't seen anybody who does the two end loops like we have here with this one here.
We have operating layouts, which you can see behind us here. We have vendors all over the station. They come from all over, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, California, and they come to sell their wares, and we have been told it's one of the best shows in the United States.
The detail on these that they build them today, and way back when was Ertl Toys. This is actually the family. The kids have carried on in their businesses. And so the details they're building with these, and this one in particular, they call it it's a 4 series type thing. And they start with a basic, and then they go up through full detail. So the wires, the engines, the doors open, the suspension works, the steering works. And so you look at the size of these because they're so small, 3/16 scale.
So you're the Wasatch and scale. So what areas do you take in?
Most of us live in Salt Lake. We have a couple of people live outside. But a lot of these, like these two, are just who knows where he decided to model these after. Some model specifically, some will model just to have, whatever. And so you just do whatever suits your fancy.
How many model train shows are there?
There are a lot.
Yeah.
There are a lot. A lot of them cater to national shows that have strictly the manufacturers who actually make the stuff, but they don't have the little guys who actually go out and sell that stuff after it's made. And that's where we come in. We have the vendors come in who have all the brands represented, and they sell it, and they discount prices even, and you can get a pretty good deal here. And people just love it, and they love to see trains running. And behind us happens to be the Hostler display, but there are 8 or 9 others in the building and one outside.
What would be the reasoning why you'd want something so detailed other than it's cool? I mean, is there... are some of these people so fanatical about their railroads they want it to be as...
The biggest thing to that is if you go over here to the Hostler train set, the HO, and just look at it, but don't look at the trains. Look at the background. The mountains, for instance, and then look for the deer and the antelope and the elk that are just buried into the forest.
How do you decide what you're going to put in your model?
A lot of times it's just, you try it out, it doesn't look the way you want it, and you start over, try it again, it doesn't look right, until you get the look that you want. It's basically just how it looks to you.
So there's lots to see. There's a Lego layout here to see. We got great food here from Iron Gate Grill, Iron Gate Catering now, and it's just a fun time.
That's what brings out the whole thing about this. It's all the little details. You see a train there, but then you look at the yard, and there's an engineer climbing into the train. There's a guy down working on the track. It's all the little detail. Just brings it out beyond just trains running around a circle.
So I look at this and I think it's a toy tractor, but at the end of the day, it just enhances the train.
Very much so.
I didn't get your name.
Dave Hansen, Wasatch and Scale.
Oh, great. And how can people find out more about your club?
We have our website is wasatchandscale.org. People can go there and see some of the past shows that we've been to. We're starting to film some of our I'm trying to think of the word. Some of our shops that we do. We do shops. We talk about how to do this and how to do that. So workshops. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, so you can learn how to do it on your website too.
Yeah. And so eventually we'll have a whole bunch of those up there, and you'll be able to go in and see how things are done. And so that's what it is.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here.
Sure enough. Yeah, thank you.
Well, so explain to me about Hostlers. How long has that been going? Like, how did that start?
The club got started back in 1987, and there was 3 or 4 of us that got together and said that, well, we kind of need a model railroad club in the area. There wasn't any really active.
It's kind of a railroad town.
It's in a railroad town, and I actually came from out of here. I moved in here, and so I'm a transplant. And where I came from, there was a lot of clubs, and there wasn't any here, and I couldn't find anything. So I went to the hobby shop, the local hobby shop, and asked if there was one. Nope. The only answer I ever got.
I run S-Gauge, was the American Flyer, and I've got new train stock. So I actually have a train that's nothing but yellow, Union Pacific, but basically it's a tractor trailer because there's tractors, there's implements and everything on the whole entire train on all the flat cars.
Well, I need to.
Hey, Farrell.
Hi, Holly. What are you doing?
So I'm not even going to pester you, but I'm listening to this, and I'm like, what I'm understanding from this, my mom has a problem. She loves.
Beside you?
Oh, all right. We're not going to be nice anymore.
Hey, I have my neighbor, and he's here with some cute kids. So, how are you doing today?
We're doing good. Just enjoying the train show.
Okay. So you're getting ready to do some fun planting, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we planted geraniums today. So
Finally, one day the guy said to me, well, if you're so interested in a damn club, why don't you start one?
I agree.
I said, I don't know anybody. I just moved here. I don't know anybody. He said, I'll help you. And he did, so we got 3 or 4 guys together, and it went on. We finally got up to about 10 guys. And at one of our little meetings in my house, in my basement, we said, well, maybe if we're going to get a club together, we ought to be a little bit organized. So Mike, they said, why don't you be president? And this was in 1988 by then. And I said, well, okay, I'll do it for a year, and we'll see what happens. Well, guess what?
This happened.
And I'm still president.
So anyway,
It's the red hair, trust me.
you don't want to mess, right?
Oh, no, ma'am.
See, this guy knows. Why don't you listen?
I was married for
I'm not as smart as this guy. That's why this guy's a lot
married
smarter.
for 25 years to a wonderful woman. She was a red hair. And you rule 1 is life is always right. Rule 2, refer to rule 1.
Don't give her rules.
Wow. I love this guy. He's like my favorite person ever. If only the whole world would abide by those rules.
You just made my life really, 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 really tough.
I'm going to get your email. But, okay, back to what we were talking about here. So,
what do you like most about the train show?
I just don't have a favorite part, but the favorite part about the train show that I did was selling candy bars for a school fundraiser. So yeah.
What's the fundraiser?
It's for the 6th grade.
that was a really good little idea you had.
Well, that was just for the club. But after a couple years in the club, we decided, hey, we need to somehow to make some money to pay for our newsletter. And we had a Christmas party, and we like to make it great for the members. So we said, well, if we do a show and have a little income, maybe that will supplement those other things. So we did our first show up at the South Ogden Armory, the Browning Armory in South Ogden, and we had 600 people, and we were just delighted.
Oh.
Now we run 85 to 8,800 people.
Yeah. My cute little mom, she became kind of an addict with the whole Christmas Village thing. So I'm like, she can't know that this world exists, because it's like I was trying to understand this, and when Farrell was saying what would be the point, blah, 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 and you were saying the details. I mean, the woman, we had to keep her away from Christmas stores. Like, she's banned from entering into them because she loves it. But that's the whole thing, right? It's all the detail. It's like setting up a little village.
Well, and this is beyond just a child. If you look at the people that are attending here, you have kids, you have retirees, you have housemakers, women work, you have veterans. You have people that are physically and mentally handicapped. But this is something that brings out all these little things in them.
So you came here and found a bunch of people and sold some candy bars? Sweet! And what's your name?
JD,
JD, what do you like most about the train show?
all the trains, because they're really fun. And my grandpa sells trains, and he has a train store and everything.
Good. Do you have a favorite train?
The Polar Express.
It's packed in here, and it is crazy busy. Tons of vendors, tons of things. So now I can't do math that fast. So how many years has it been?
The show?
The show.
This is the 26th annual.
26th annual year. And is there anything different that's happened this year we should watch for?
Well, we do have a couple new layouts. We have a couple new vendors this year. Lego is back, and Lego is a big attraction for the kids. They love the Lego layout. And it's down in the other room, down in the theater. And it's pretty much the same old thing. Iron Gate was new with us last year, so the food vendor is fairly new.
You may not think about somebody being able to do something, but then you see some of these guys that are building trees, big fat fingers, and they're building these little teeny intricate trees. It just hits that one part of their mindset that frees them to be able to do incredible things.
Artistic.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter. There is no limitations. It's all in your mind and how you create it.
Yeah.
So it goes beyond even this. You go into the world of the gaming people that do that, and the way they paint the pieces that they make. I mean, these guys are just incredible. The artists, the details, the small things. But that's something they excel at, and it gives them such pleasure. So,
What was your favorite?
Gordon, he goes fast, then he picks up passengers, then my favorite thing is about trains, then I love it.
And a lot of the old vendors are still here too, which we like. Actually, we compete this weekend with a huge show in Denver. And a lot of the vendors come out of the Colorado area. This one comes out of Nebraska, which is really close to them. But they would prefer to come to our show rather than go to Denver.
Well, of course. I feel like I've been educated. I've been introduced to a whole new world, and I'm going to make sure my mom doesn't know it exists in the world. We're just going to keep her from it. It's been hard enough keeping the Christmas thing under control.
just keep it in the Christmas realm.
We'll just keep it there. Where's this show? We can't let her watch that. All right, Bill? Farrell, anything else you want to know about rules of life and how to maybe be a successful human being?
Well, you know, as nice as this guy is, I certainly don't want to abide by one of his rules because both of them are wrong.
Okay, that's why also why it says ex-wife.
And it's about, and I love Gordon when he talks, and my favorite thing is about Thomas, and he loves to have trains.
So now tell me this, just for one more question, what do fellas do in a train club? I mean, are girls allowed? Is this like a He-Man Woman Haters Club, or like, you know, what's a train club?
The train club, we do a lot of business stuff. You know, we organize this. This takes a half a year to organize this. And we have, on the committee for this, I have 30 people. So we have separate meetings for that.
I am married to a wonderful lady now. I've been married for 4 years almost. She's not a redhead.
Do you still have those rules, though? Because I think in general, those are just girl rules.
I work with them.
Yeah, you work with the rules?
Oh, yes.
See, Farrell, that's your problem. It's not just redheads. I mean, redheads, we're feisty, but...
I have said this, and we're getting way off tangent here. This has nothing to do with anything, but I've said this a million times before, and I'll say it a million times again.
Oh, I'm scared.
All women want is an honest man. Just be honest with me. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because the minute you're honest with a woman, she's mad.
He loves to have he goes in the shed, then he goes to the Diesel Works.
We do community things. We plan our Christmas party. We plan our club picnic in the summertime. We do out-of-town shows. Like some of the clubs that are here come from other cities. And so we do the same thing. We travel to other cities and help them put on their shows.
That's awesome.
And so we do that at the meetings. We have clinics to teach some old people and some new people into the hobby, different tricks.
So you do play with some trains?
Oh, once in a while.
Yeah?
Oh, is that really what you think? Well, you told me you want me to be honest, right?
Are you starting to understand how, like, my world dealing with this guy?
There's a lot of wisdom in what I say, though, is there not?
None at all. You can be honest.
There can be.
Wow, he's so nice. Farrell, you make no sense at all.
See, this is the diplomatic way.
Yeah, this is how you're married. Congratulations. Well, very cool stuff. Thanks for talking to us. I'm just going to pretend like that didn't happen because I'm more confused, like always, when Farrell talks. So anyway, very cool stuff. We'll go look around and we'll pay attention to all the little details. Thanks.
Thank you.
And I love them, and they fix trains are broken, and I love the fire engine because...
So I'm thinking we'll go play with trains and join a train club, Farrell. What do you think?
Why not? What else?
I've never been to a train club.
I've been here a lot, but I've never been to a club.
Well, I just learned all about it. So, Mike, thank you for talking to us.
Make it into the club.
Oh.
Well, I'll make my own He-Man Woman's Hater Club, and Holly won't be allowed.
All right.
That's what I just said. I was scared about that. But see, you know what? That would actually just mean that it would say it on the door so I knew not to go there. I would just be happy. It would make my life easier.
I say Holly's not allowed like that would bother her at all.
Exactly. It would just be like, thank you for giving me the courtesy of putting the sign out so I know where not to go, ever.
All right. I think I'll let you two battle this out.
I know, Mike is two-way nice for that.
Alrighty, I'm here with
Burke Franson.
And can you tell me a little bit about what that is right there?
Well, I'm running what they call digital command control, and there's a computer chip in the train that I'm running. The tracks are always hot, and we punch in an address in here, which is my engine number, and so there's 2 or 3 of us running on the same track, and whenever I send a signal, the other engines ignore it, and only mine will pick it up because that's what it's addressed to. So I can stop it, run it faster, slow it down, honk the horn.
I love him because he has water and he fires barns and he goes on roads.
So we got to go find some food. We're going to go look at some trains, and this is a super cool event. I guess I'm going to have to hang with Farrell a little bit, but, you know, if you get bored and you want to come rescue me.
I'll come with you.
All right. All right. Thanks for talking to me. Have good luck this year.
Thank you.
All right.
So what happened to the days of you hooked the wires to the track and you plugged it in and then you had a little knob that...
Still have them. This outside track runs that way, direct current. And so they'll run a couple of trains on that, but...
So, let me get this right. So, those 2 tracks aren't electrified. Everything's in the train itself, right?
No, the power runs all the time through this. We have a computer chip in the locomotive that we send signals to it with this.
Really?
Excuse me, my throat's really sore.
I have that too. Were you just sick?
Yeah, I got it last couple nights ago. Throat's really sore, scratchy, but...
That's allergies.
I'm just kidding. I had pneumonia like a month ago, and I just, like, every once in a while I wake up and I have no voice.
And she couldn't talk. It was awesome.
It wasn't awesome.
Me last night, Fox News did, and I thought it was going to be on TV. And the guy that was on, he was on there, and then they cut it right there.
Right at you?
Right when they got to me.
How rude. First of all, I am here with the famous Mark Desabo. Now, I have to tell you, I know you're famous because you are an incredibly gifted artist, but to me, you are so super famous. I heard that you existed. I didn't believe it, but someone who likes Farrell.
Absolutely. How can you not like Farrell?
This guy has great, incredible...
I like Farrell. I mean, he's a nice guy.
I think Holly tolerates Farrell, I think is what it is. So it's kind of RC, but not RC.
Yeah, it is.
If that makes any sense, I don't know if it does or not.
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, the power's coming from here for the locomotive, but I can stop it on that, and the lights will stay on. Whereas with direct current, when you stop it, the lights, everything goes out. You're shutting the power off.
So they're smart trains.
Yes. Yeah. This come out, I think,
like me,
in the 80s, and it really caught on in the 90s, and they're getting real popular now.
Very good. All righty, well, hey, thank you for talking with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Then he go to the trains. Then he goes to the. Then he finds the trains.
Tell me who you are.
My name's Don.
Don, what are you doing here today?
I'm actually part of the Hostlers Club over here, and we're running our HO scale trains. I have a few of them.
Yeah?
My son is over there right now. I'm not sure where he's at, but...
So you are part of the crew that gets together and talks trains and plans events. I got the whole story, and you play with some trains once in a while.
I do. I wish I had my own setup, but I don't. I got kicked out of the room where my wife wanted it for a sewing room, so...
Oh, got trumped.
Once again, a girl ruining all the fun for the men.
Sewing's fun for people.
It ain't fun for trains.
Last year, Farrell and I were talking. An idea came up about Farrell's Farrell's fun train. Have you heard about Farrell's Fun Train?
I have not, but I think we should hear about it.
It is, okay. Farrell's a fun guy, right?
He is a fun guy.
Okay, and in order for Frontrunner, UTA, to make more money, is to have a train that Farrell drives.
Oh.
And wouldn't people line up just to ride Farrell's Fun Train?
Could you imagine the activities we could do?
What would those activities be?
Well, I really haven't put that much thought into it yet, but
Okay, I'm here with two cute guys. Who are you?
Jim Olson
Jim Olson,
and Carl Spencer.
Carl Spencer, and what brings you here?
I just joined this train club because I wanted to have more influence and I wanted to learn a little bit more about trains and the old scale goings on.
Oh, so it sounds like you did that.
I did, and I'm having a great time.
When you run your trains here and you see the little kids come up, and they're all smiles. They just love watching. That's the biggest thrill for me, is just to watch them.
you like little kids. You love kids. You can get a train set. The kids will come over.
Hey, I said I would come hang out and do the train thing.
We also do shows up in Evanston, Wyoming, and then we do one up in Idaho Falls every year. They're not as big as this right here, but they're a lot of fun to go to.
Then Farrell asked me, okay, you know some guys in the railroad, because I work for the railroad. And so I took the idea to some guys I know on the railroad.
And were they terrified?
No, but you know how everything, they run a computer model of everything nowadays. Just try to figure things out. And so they ran the computer model of Farrell's Fun Train. And they liked the idea about making money, but then they realized people would not get to work.
Or die.
No.
I was just waiting for someone to.
Holly, this guy's an engineer. Okay, he drives the trains. How hard can that job be? The trains are on rails. Even I can't screw that up.
Farrell could do it.
And what do you like about it?
I've been a member for 10 years, and so I come here to run my trains, and so that, I try to get young kids and more enthusiastic about the trains, so it'll go on.
So what's your favorite with the kids? What happens?
Just seeing the joy in their eyes and their smiles. And, they like to see the trains run fast, some of them, and it's just good.
So tell me, do you like to build everything yourself? Do you like to buy it? What is the draw for you personally?
We buy most of our stuff, but it's an expensive hobby. I mean, you really got to have a lot of money to get into it. Because a lot of these engines that are running out here, especially the really nice diesels, run $300-400, depending on which rail you run on. Because there's two different kinds. You have DC, and I can't remember what it stood for. There's DC and DCC. The DC ones are a lot cheaper, but the DCCs run about, depending on model, about $200-300.
We're on fire. When he gets back, and Thomas is on fire, and he runs out of water, and
wow.
You ride the Farrell Fun Train?
No.
Don't you want to have fun?
No.
Alive, breathing.
She's a stick in the mud.
So are you two a couple or anything? You sort of.
Did you guys set this up?
No, you're bantering.
You
like
set
that.
this up.
No, I did not. I promise.
Farrell.
Holly, hand to God. I did not set that up.
Mark, you're. Did they pay you before? Did they call you?
I just say what I see, and I watch your show, and it looks like sort of.
This has been set up.
No,
How much did they
So
pay
it's
you?
not true.
She wish.
Never, ever.
I'm kind of a heartbreaker,
Yeah.
Can't you buy them and paint them yourself and make all the trees and all of that, or is that a whole different kind of
These are all
version?
modules right here. This whole setup right here is like different modules that we guys.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
I think we should get some trains, get some paints. Would be a blast.
It would be.
I mean, yours would be horrible, but
Why would mine be horrible?
well, I've seen your penmanship.
Maybe I'm like Rain Man, except for I'm really good with trains.
Well, maybe we should see. Maybe that's like your thing.
I don't think so. I don't have the patience.
And then as far as the older people, like myself and some of these others, they want to see, how you make things, and so that's what I do. So all the stuff you see on the table here, not all of it, but all the stuff over here behind you, I've made. So, and it's fun. It's good.
Oh, good. So you kind of pass on what you learn to other people?
So far I have, you know, and some of the guys have helped me add people to the passenger trains and stuff like that.
So anyway, the guys at UTA, the railroad, on the Farrell Fun Train, they said, sorry, we can't do it. The commuters would never get to work. But maybe go try at Lagoon.
Oh.
Right, they got a train there, and that's a perfect place for Farrell's Fun Train.
Well, because, then we could be strapped in and...
Maybe we could try Holly's sensible train, follow all the rules, and don't do anything wrong.
She'd probably get a job with the ETA, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go, I'd get a job.
Nearly as much fun as Farrell's Fun Train.
Dying. Sometimes it's fun. I don't know. I hope you get feeling better.
Oh, yeah, I'll be fine. It's just scratchy throat.
Allergies. Claritin D.
Yes.
The 24-hour. The stuff you have to show your license for. That's the stuff that helps.
I got up at 4:30 this morning. My nose was...
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's this warm weather, but I'm not complaining. I love it. Please don't stop. All right, thanks for talking to us. Okay.
He loves all the trains.
Well, that's great. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex?
It's just having fun, and sharing it with people. That's what it's all about.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad I got to meet you too.
Keep smiling.
Thank you.
Now, Mark, I don't even want to know why you would even possibly think for a minute, except that it's a running joke. And the only person who really thought it was really drunk in Park City.
Oh, that guy was drunk.
Exactly. That's what started it all. And ever since then...
Stopped to it immediately, if not... She's like, hold on. Let me get this straight right now. I thought she was going to punch the guy in the face. So you know what I equate? And then when we were in Vegas, Holly's like, hey, Farrell, you want to go to the gym in the morning? You know what that means? She thinks I'm hideous and fat. Alrighty, I'm here with...
Gary Wilden.
And Gary, can you tell me a little bit about what you have going on down here?
You bet. I am the store manager of the Golden Spike National Historic Site out in Promontory. So I brought a sample of some of the merchandise that we sell up there, geared mostly towards a younger audience because I'm trying to get younger kids involved in the love of trains.
That is a long drive to work every day, isn't it?
Well, I live in Tremont, and so it's about 29 miles, but the traffic's wonderful.
I was just going to say, you have to fight traffic, huh?
Okay, I am here with Mr. Matt.
Yes.
Matt, what's your last name? I don't even want to try to say it.
Go ahead.
Schwenk? Okay, wait, one more time. Schwenk. Well, that's a cool last name. That's a pretty schwank last name you got there.
It's a schwank name.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're here talking about trains, and you were a little nervous because I heard that Farrell was going to do the interview, and you got a little scared.
He called me names.
Really?
Yeah.
He did? What did he say?
He was nice about it.
He was nice about it?
He was nice. Said, come on, be interviewed.
You know what? It's okay. It's a natural instinct that you should listen to if you fear him.
You do have
No, it was just a good suggestion to stay lean. Remember there was the stripper thing? I thought that might be a good exercise for you.
What?
I mean, it's not a bad way to go.
Talking about pole dancing.
It's the latest trend.
Family show, right?
That's what they family friendly, exactly.
And you're the one who says
every time she's the one that takes it the wrong way. Yep. She's the one that takes it the wrong way every time.
Completely wrong. This is just everything is taken out of context at the end of the day. We were in Vegas. It's a thing people do because you've heard about this now. Chicks go and do stripper pole as a workout.
But I don't know.
And the lady recommended that Farrell in all of his glory should maybe look into it. And I just backed it.
Right there,
just to stay, lean and fit.
So back on the subject of trains, we're at a train show.
Okay, trains. We're at a train show. Mark,
We're getting us back on track.
I know, I appreciate that.
See what I did there? Back on track, see that?
We're going to lose our job, and he's going to have it at the end of this whole thing.
I've noticed you have two different size train whistles here. I was telling you earlier, one of my buddies, we came down here last year, and he bought all three of my kids these big train whistles. And he grinned the whole time like he'd done something really great. And every time I hear those whistles go off, I want to punch Mike right in the face.
Well, that's what I do to my grandkids. I buy them all the loud stuff, you bet.
And then their parents think, oh, I'm so glad.
And then I just laugh and walk out. That's great. Yeah.
So, I don't even want to know what that says, to be honest with you.
You feel like you shouldn't be around. You know what I mean?
Only if you
I get nervous when he stands behind me.
That is something you should pay attention to. That's that gut thing.
I didn't know how to call people bad names until Holly taught me how. I was nothing but a sweetheart till this woman come along, and she totally turned me into this evil creature that I am.
So not true. So not true. Okay, so Matt, tell us, you were part of the train club. How long have you been doing it?
I thought 20 years, but he won't give me my 20-year badge.
No, are you holding it out?
No, he's been in it about 20 years, so come Christmas party, if he comes to the Christmas party, he will get his 20-year badge up on.
See, you heard what it's going to take.
How did you get to like trains so much?
Because when I go to the train store, I love to play with these trains.
You are an incredibly talented artist. You obviously work for Union. Tell me about the whole art thing, and how long have you been doing this?
Ever since I was a boy. My grandfather was a locomotive engineer, and I like to draw, and so I drew the trains he ran, and I just stayed with it. You know, had a little bit of training, and self-learning, and just kept after it.
You are like an amazing artist.
He's even they've turned his paintings into puzzles and everything, and cards. So what goes on down? That's where they redo the Transcontinental Railroad and all that stuff, right?
And that is where the first Transcontinental Railroad met back in 1869. That was where it was completed. So last spike site is out there. We do have reenactments that we run throughout the summer where we actually drive simulated spikes. We do the same thing that they did back in 1869. That starts the first Saturday in May, and then the big celebration is the 10th of May, which on this year will be on Mother's Day. But every Saturday and holiday throughout the summer, we do the reenactments.
So 20 years of training, do you like to build the little things, or what is it that draws you to it?
Good at it.
I like to build the structures in the cars and put them together.
And do you have a whole room dedicated to it where your kids and family gets to come in? And
I did until about 2 weeks ago.
And let me ask you, what happened 2 weeks ago? How come you don't anymore?
I tore it apart so I could move.
Oh, I thought for sure he was going to say your wife made you move it. And I was like, well, that's because girls ruin everything.
Oh, no.
Carol, people like their wives. Just because you don't.
Name one.
No.
Besides Bill, he doesn't count.
That's a negotiable part at the very beginning of the marriage. They have the upstairs, I have the downstairs, okay?
You just have to negotiate from the beginning. There's a lot of things you could learn.
Because some of us only get a room.
A whole downstairs is pretty good.
I asked for the downstairs, and she allowed me to have it, and then the house moved into didn't have a downstairs.
Well, I mean, that's just a smart woman at the end of the day. I mean, let's be honest. How do people get a hold of it if somebody wants to buy this stuff? Do you have a website?
My name, you can Google my name, Mark Desbo, or my website is artistoftherails.com.
Oh my gosh, this stuff is just beautiful. It's like Americana. I love your colors. That right there, that is awesome.
Right on.
That is just really, really pretty. So I think we need to talk later. Is this a print? So you've got print and actual?
Prints, actual original paintings, prints, like you said, puzzles, cards, everything.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a picture of him painting.
That's right. That was the style of painting's called plein air. We've had plein air shows here in Ogden. It's where you go out on location and paint. And they had one in Ely, Nevada, at the Nevada Northern Railway last September. And so I went there for a weekend, set up. You paint these in about 3 hours or so.
Really? I'm so scared of what that even says. So
replace that with feral.
Holly's so distracting me, and that doesn't happen ever.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
I have a question for you, though.
Sure.
I love these thought bubbles. They're perfect for Farrell. Here, I think we should get you those. But we have a Disney fanatic that we work with, and I guess there is a connection to the Golden Spike trains and Disneyland. Is that right?
Absolutely. When they were looking to build some replica locomotives, they went to Walt Disney first to see if he could do them, because he was very much a train enthusiast. He said that he was not able to do it, but he had a good friend, O'Connor, who owned the O'Connor Engineering Company in Palo Alto, that might be interested. So they contacted him, and it took many, many years to work this all out, but he ended up building the trains. Also, one of their lead animators did some of the initial scroll work on the locomotives.
Well, that's pretty cool. So Chris Dallin, that was for you, big time Disney guy. Trains are fun.
They are fun. And Holly, you asked like the best question. I can't think of anything else to ask this. I can't follow that up.
Well, I think I'm going to come back before we leave. I'm going to get the whistle, that's for sure, and then I'm going to get this for you.
Are you?
So just put those on hold, and we'll be back in a little while.
Do that.
All righty, thank you, Gary. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, so Matt, what do you look forward to every year at this thing?
Going home.
Yes,
You guys work hard because it's an event. I understand that, but it's pretty cool that you do.
We got a lot of people, we got a lot of kids and stuff come out here, and it's neat to see all the people. I'm actually surprised how many we have for the nice weather we're having.
Do you look forward to any of the vendors, or is there anything you're eyeballing that you want?
Everything, because you always want everything. Maybe not a need, but you want it.
Yeah, it's a fun little hobby. I think I'm going to come to the club.
Great.
I think I should, Farrell.
She wants to become a member, but Farrell won't let her.
Boys only, Holly. Don't.
She says boys.
You know what she'll try to do? She'll try to make. She'll like, you know, this cart would be really cute if we painted it pink and put CoverGirl on it, and we can't have that.
So, Mark, I think maybe we should just, if you draw a picture of the fun train, maybe that could be fun.
The fun train, cool, yeah.
Maybe we should do that. Yeah.
It's
if
a good
you're
idea.
bored,
See, even you like the fun train idea.
deep down, I'm a business girl at heart, and I do have to admit there is a draw there. We just have to maybe have him in like a straitjacket or something, and just somebody else really pulling the strings.
We better call OSHA and make sure all the safety processes are followed and things are in place.
Breathalyzer before you get in front of the wheel.
I had to take a breathalyzer last week. I was with Holly last weekend. We had to take a breathalyzer.
As I wanted to ask if I could bring it with me and just do it all the time prior to shooting.
And I love to play with the trains on his floor. And
we talked at Comic-Con. We feel like we go way back. Tell me your name, though.
Jason Simmons.
Jason Simmons, and you work for?
I work for the United States Air Force right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, what's happening here with the Legos?
Well, we have our big layout here. We've been coming to Hostlers off and on for several years. That's kind of where we got our start with the train club, and then we expanded into other non-train items. We've got about 10 members worth of stuff here today. I've got my helicarrier here, which is the first time it's been here in Ogden.
They make pink cards, unfortunately.
I think that there should be a girly, sparkly version of everything.
Why would you want that? Think about it, really. I mean, come on.
Why wouldn't you?
Because it's not cool, Holly. Trains are cool, not sparkly girly.
I think we'd make some cool trains. Well, Matt, thank you for talking to me. Just trust your instincts. They're dead on, so when you fear something, just know Farrell's a good gauge of that. I know I'm talking to someone good if they fear him, instinctively.
Great, thank you.
I think you're almost done here and you get to go home soon.
Oh, no, not till about 6.
Oh, well, never mind. Then good luck.
Thanks, have a good day.
You too. Okay, Mark, I apologize for you brought this up. I'm sorry. I have to come back to you because you brought it up and it brought out the ongoing battle that is Holly and Farrell. I'm paid to do this job, and Farrell's great as a co-host, and that's all.
That's all.
Ever.
Signing off.
Okay, Mark, thank you for talking to us. Seriously, a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Holly.
Thanks for being nice to Farrell. Everybody needs someone. And you're that one. You're that guy.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Holly, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
So you are a Lego club.
We are a Lego club for adult fans of Lego, or AFOLs as they're called, or a fool if you want to mispronounce.
I love that. Janae, you could be an adult fan of a Lego. You could be in a fool.
I know it. It would just come so easily.
I think, really that just is more straight up Farrell's alley at the end of the day. It's just a joke that, sorry, it just needed to happen. But, okay, so you were at Comic-Con and you were more going into the whole comic scene.
Yeah.
Not comic book.
Yeah, we do, Marvels and DC superheroes. We do trains. We do movie references like you got a Stargate over here. We've got real world things like the Sears Tower. We just, different people have different interests, and we try to incorporate whatever our members' interests are.
Alrighty, I am here with
Karen Gerald.
And can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing down here?
Well, we're showing our modules from our modular club, and hope that everybody finds something new to watch, because each time we come to a show, we try to add something different.
Alrighty, I am here with
Darren Garner.
Brittany Garner.
And she got so excited with the trains. What's her name?
Gracie.
So the train went, she got all excited, and Has she ever been around here before?
Nope.
What do you think of that? What is that?
Wait, isn't this like what the Lego movie was about?
Kind of. It really was, because it was about, the different scenes they went through. They went through Middle Zealand. They went through Regular City. They went to Old West, because Lego has all these different genres, and everybody fixes on one of them. My start was actually in space Lego. I've got some of these space Legos from 1978, and I've just been collecting them ever since, and now I'm branching out into the superheroes world, and it's just a lot of fun stuff.
So do you actually build the trains and stuff, or you just, like, knock all the little kids away?
Well, the trains themselves, you have to invest quite a bit of money into. But yes, the actual bench work we do ourselves, and the scenicking we do ourselves. Some structures you can build from kits, but this one, for instance, is all scratch built.
What does scratch built mean?
It means all built from plain materials, scratch, for instance.
My favorite thing to do is control them.
Well, all we needed to do was find Alex, and we can fill up our whole show. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Say train. It's a train. Train. Yeah.
Holly should have been doing this interview. She likes little kids so much. So, which one of these trains you guys like? I know which one she likes, but do you do model railroading, or are you just down here checking it out?
Oh, we're just down checking it out. So.
Pretty cool one.
Yeah, it's fun. So. She likes trains. So.
Yeah, I can tell. It's awesome. That's great. And how old is she?
She's 2.
And loves trains.
Yeah. She's had a grandpa that drove a train, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that explains it then.
Well, and the whole Lego movie was about how the kid couldn't touch any of the stuff. Is that how it is at your house?
You'd have to ask my kids. I'm going to probably say no comment. Actually, it kind of was that way, but after seeing the movie, I'm trying to soften up myself and let them.
The movie softened you?
Yeah, a little bit. I let them do more now.
You let him at least sort of look at it closer than behind the rope.
Right. We kind of have their section and my section, but there's a little bit of crossover here and there.
Yeah, but I can understand why you'd be protective of it, because seriously, I mean, this is amazing. It's an art.
It's an art. It's a hobby. It's fun. Keeps us young. I'm still 40 some odd years old playing with toys.
These little hillsides he does.
Look at this. Beautiful, talented woman who builds trains.
I was just gonna say, this is like boys, and you're like standing out over all the boys.
Well, this is not ours. Ours starts over on that end.
Either way, I am just happy to see a lovely lady who's holding it down with the train boys, because we've yet to see one.
That's why we had to come talk to you. You're the first woman that we've seen down here, so we had to come talk.
All right. Well, I like to operate on them too, so.
She just likes hanging with the boys.
Oh, is that what it is? You just like to hang out with the boys?
It's like hanging with the boys because you're probably the best at it, so it's fun.
Well, I don't know about being the best at it, but yeah, I'm one of the few.
She's going to be modest.
Yes. Well, of course, you have to be.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Look how excited she gets. It's so great. Look at. I knew Holly was coming.
She was so dang cute. I knew Farrell would give me a hard time. I was just going to try to steal her and run away because it would be funny, because I love little kids and pretty little girls. Do you love the train? Yeah. How old are you? 2? You are 2? You are so pretty. Oh my gosh. It's super fun.
I want to know how long it takes you to make some of these things.
Well, this helicarrier alone, I'm into it about 240 hours over the past 2 years. It takes me about 2 hours to set it up for a show. It takes me about an hour to take it back down.
And when you put it together, I mean, I assume for the most part glue is involved?
There is no glue in this whatsoever. No craggle.
Is that like a rule for the club? Like you got to be real?
It's not really a rule, but it's something we all believe in on our own.
You're only a true hardcore Lego person if you don't use glue.
Right. We call them purists. If you're a purist. Yeah, if you're a purist, you don't believe in glue. You don't believe in cutting, drilling, or modifying the piece in any way. You just keep it pure.
We have an auto accident here.
Were you involved?
You know that was women drivers, right? Have you heard the saying, women drivers, no survivors?
I've not heard that.
I'm just going on what I know.
But, you know, we were with you in Vegas.
And did we die? Did we get in a crash?
No, but I had the need of nausea medication for the majority of the time that you were behind the wheel.
We got to where we was going, though, in a hurry, didn't we?
It's true. I think Bill being a co-pilot.
You got us lost. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. You are my favorite interview of the day. I couldn't let Farrell just have you all to himself. What else?
Farrell?
Well, I'll give this back to Farrell. Sorry, too cute.
You know, that she is an adorable child. And I have to say this, at least this time, we didn't have to stop to interview the child. We're right in the middle of something, and Holly's like, oh, look at those kids. I'm like, Holly, we got stuff to do. We're not interviewing children, and we're not a daycare. But she was awesome. It was part of it, so thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
All right, so if somebody wants to be part of the adult Lego club, did I say, wait, I think I missed something. I was just going to say AFL.
Fan of Lego.
Adult fan of Lego. AFL. I think that's just what I'm going to start calling Farrell. How do they get a hold of you? How do they join your club?
The best way to join our club is to look us up on www.utahlug.org and sign up on the forums. And that's where we do most of our communicating on the forums. We'll tell you when shows are, when meetings are, and what the club's up to.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for talking to us. We'll look for you at Comic-Con again.
Okay, we'll be there.
Alrighty, Holly, well, what do you think? What did you learn about trains?
Well, I have learned that people have a passion for trains, train building, that my mom shouldn't learn about it because I think that her love of Christmas villages could cross over and be a year-round problem.
So what do you think, Janae?
I think this is awesome.
It is awesome.
I like all the kids. Yeah.
You know what I like?
I'm always so happy about everything.
Everything.
Everything's the
This
best.
is great. We're lambs leading to slaughter. This is awesome.
What's even nice about your driving?
She was. You know what the best part of this whole experience was? Farrell's fun train. That's all I got to say.
I you know what? I have to say, if they build it, I will definitely have to come check it out.
Right on. Well, hey, thanks for watching and keep an eye out for Farrell's fun train.
The train on the track goes clicky clack, all day long.
Other direction.
The train on the track goes clicky clack, clicky clack, all day.
We didn't even know where we were.
There were a lot of times we were lost.
In the middle of the block in this hotel underneath, and we said, "Where are we?"
We're just right here away, and it was
were trying to make a U-turn, and it went on and on. It was like a 10-minute U-turn.
That was just a bad joke after this weekend. That just didn't work for you, dude. Turn and burn. You got to know timing. Bad timing.
Have you heard of GPS? That might help.
I was simply the driver, not the navigator. Okay, I cannot help it that you guys. Here you go. Have you ever been in a car with three backseat drivers? It's impossible. You can't get anything done. They're all yammering something different at you. You can't make heads or tails of any of it. You guys just experience it now.
A word. I was just wondering where we were.
We were all kind of just wondering where we were. We really didn't dare say a whole lot.
The truth.
We were just trying to Google Maps ourselves and sending it to 911 in case we
our
died.
Watches.
It's true.
Who are you going to believe?
Do you want to tell that joke again one more time?
I can barely get a word into edgewise. Who's yammering and who wasn't?
We were not talking.
We really weren't.
We didn't
scared.
dare. We
Scared
didn't want
for
to
our
distract you.
I'm so henpecked. I hate it.
You're really not. You started it. Don't pick a fight, girl. He left. See, you can't pick a fight you're not willing to, see through to the end. He brings it, right? There you go.
We weren't pointing out a wreck.
We didn't start the whole bad driver thing.
Up his,
Oh, here, wait, I forgot. You probably want this as much as you guys talk.
You saw how long it took him to think that one up, right?
Yeah,
that was good.
Go
It was a solid 30, maybe 20 seconds, but it was good.
Yeah.
It was solid. We'll give you that one, Farrell. Good job.